It is Saturday, June 18th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our 4 best picks of the day. We got 2 player props, 1 money line, and 1 no run first inning coming your guys' way.
Just do us a real quick favor and hit that subscribe button, especially if you're new. Welcome to the channel. Austin and I put a lot of hard work into these videos. I know sometimes the results are disappointing, but we get right back, and we're going to bounce back real hard today.
I agree, Logan. And at the beginning of the video, I might have been looking like I wasn't like that. Whatever. The camera didn't feel like saying it was recorded. But either way, let's recap yesterday. It was an 0-3 day. I don't want to recap it, but we're always going to be transparent. You know, we've been really alternating between good and bad days. Today's going to be a good day. Promise you that. The Nationals team total over 4 runs. You'd think should have been a green check mark. No, game 1, they said, nah, we're good. And then game 2, of course, they scored 7 runs. What can you do about that? Randy Arozarena, thanks for nothing. 0 for 4, I believe. And then we got homered on in the NRFIs. Not much we can do about that. I do want to put a note. Logan did want to add Guardians money line, and I held him back. So it was my mistake, but we appreciate it. We have a couple new All-Stars. We got Just Jordan Sports, Billionaire Mind, Chase Upperman, Cosina 17, and Bama Pride. Thank you guys all for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate you guys, but we don't really have any more into it. We're going to get back into it. We're going to do a positive day. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Logan, what's your first pick of the day? Sorry for selling you on the Guardians.
No, look, it's fine that you didn't add Guardians, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't trust me either if I picked the Nationals and they scored 3 runs. But that's okay. We're earning our trust back, and we're looking for a great bounce back pick today. Going to the Blue Jays versus Yankees game. I'm taking the Blue Jays. Currently minus 134 odds on Barstool, as Austin's pulling up here on Odds Jam. It's pretty standard, really, across the books. I love the Blue Jays in this spot, right? You need a bounce back. We need a bounce back hard. Blue Jays, 19-7 after a loss, 3rd best in the MLB. Everyone remembers when we were picking the bounce back Blue Jays to start the season. They were amazing after a loss, and here they are once again. And to see the Yankees as underdogs in this fashion is rare, right? Yankees on an 8-game win streak. Yet they find themselves like plus 115-ish on most books. Do we just think, 77% of the money and 80% of the bets on the Yankees plus 1.5? We just think the books are going to give out free money on the Yankees once again? I don't think so, especially not on weekend baseball. Look, those public percentages on Yankees plus 1.5, that's not even good value. People are just betting the Yankees to bet the Yankees, right? Yankees, last night they just won 12-3. It makes all the sense in the world, almost too much sense, to bet the Yankees while they're on this win streak. And I'm going to have a lot of comments, I know already. Logan, I won't bet against the Yankees. Logan, I refuse. Bronx Bombers all the way. I don't care. Look, this is baseball. Good teams lose sometimes, right? And they're facing Alek Manoah, right? Manoah has been amazing versus the Yankees. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs versus the Yankees this year. Look, he matches up so well against the Yankees. Like, if they can't win with Manoah, I don't know who they can win with, right? 0.67 and 0.83 whip in those 2 starts versus the Yankees as well, which just proves, right, earned runs isn't everything. He's showing tremendous control, not giving the Yankees free base runners, free, home run opportunities with, multiple guys on base. And of course, I wanted to pull, the hitting splits versus Manoah, right? How about Aaron Judge? 1 for 11. That's a .91 batting average versus Manoah. That's atrocious. DJ LeMahieu, 0 for 8. Hasn't hit him before. That's a 0 batting average versus Manoah. These are 2 of the better, Yankee hitters that they rely on to get on base, to generate those run opportunities. And I'm telling you, they don't match up versus Manoah well. That's why we find the Blue Jays in this sort of heavier favorites role. And now the Blue Jays are facing Jameson Taillon today. Taillon 2-1 and 2 earned runs versus Toronto this season. I mean, that's Jameson Taillon's a solid pitcher, right? He's got that, I believe, under 3 ERA on the year. He should be serviceable, but these Toronto hitters are able to hit him, right? Career-wise, Bo Bichette, 7 for 16. Batting .438 versus Taillon. Guerrero Jr., 5 for 14, 357 versus Taillon. We get production at the top of the order from Vladdy, from Bo Bichette, and they get on base. And that bottom half, now the bottom half of the Toronto order is always extremely suspect to me. If they can finally step up and knock in these base runners, we'll be really solid. Toronto is good at home too, right? Toronto 5th in batting average and 3rd in OPS at home. We need the run support for Alek Manoah, because I believe he should be able to keep the Yankees from going off for like 12 runs, right? That would be highly unusual. The Toronto needs to bring the bats today, and I think they will. I don't see why the books would make them this heavy favorites if they didn't believe they will. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce back with the Blue Jays. But Austin, what are you going with today?
Oh man, I do love me some bounce back Blue Jays. Now, I actually was looking at some Alek Manoah props. Didn't want to double dip into that game. And also for Nerfy Nation, that was a pretty good Nerfy. We just didn't want to. I mean, we're going to be rooting for some Blue Jays early run. So either way, I'm going to go into 2 player props though. We're going to the Cardinals Red Sox game. Going Brendan Donovan. We're taking his over 1.5 bases plus 120 on points bet. We see a couple different books with different values on this one. Obviously, FanDuel with the worst value at minus 105. But the good thing we do see sharper books really like this one. Minus 105. So we're seeing pretty good value on this one at plus 120 on points. But now, why do we like Donovan? And a lot of people might not know who he is. Well, that's because he's a rookie. He's only played in 45 career games, batting 338 during that time span with 45 hits, almost averaging a hit per game, 15 of those being extra base hits. So a third of his hits are extra base hits, so we can count on him to do it today. Now, yesterday against the Red Sox, he actually wasn't. He made people that took this bet sweat because he didn't get it until I believe his last at bat in the bottom of, or well, technically top of the 9th inning. Did get a double in that one, but the Cardinals recently moved him up to second in their lineup, so they're really seeing good things out of Donovan, and I can't blame him because he's hit pretty well recently. In June, he's just batting 397, hitting this over in 5 of his last 6 games. He's been crushing the ball, hitting 560 over those last 6 games. The guy's been absolutely on an unreal run. Now we look at the over/under for this game, set to 10. And Cutter Crawford is on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. He's a right-handed pitcher, and they're expecting some runs to be scored in this game. Setting it over/under at 10, you're not just saying, this will be a 3-2 game. So there should be some runs, should be some base runners available, and we should see since he bats second, we should see him bat, I don't know, 5-ish, close to 4 or 5 times today. That's what hopefully we can get at him. Now, Cutter Crawford has pitched pretty well. Now, he did pitch well in his last start, but we're banking on him pitching well again. I mean, I do like his name. Cutter with the K is a cool name, but I just don't really think he's going to pitch all that well like he did in his last start against the Twins, I believe. Look, the Red Sox bullpen also not very good. Cutter Crawford, one of their best arms in the bullpen, and now he's turned into a starter. So I don't really think it's going to go too well. Like I said, he's a right-handed pitcher. Donovan hitting 371 versus right-handed pitchers, right-handed starters this year. He's been crushing the baseball. We'll be taking him for a little bit of plus value. I think plus 120 is a little bit too good. This should be around minus 105. So we'll take it with the value. Now, I'm going to go to a pitcher now. We're going to go to Dylan Bundy of the Minnesota Twins, under 5.5 hits allowed on minus 132 on FanDuel. So we see, differing values. We have minus 132 on FanDuel, but then a lot of other books have it at minus 170. So wouldn't be surprised if this line does change. Sharper books are at minus 180. So a plus EV bet if you guys can lock this one in early. Now, Bundy, lack of a pun, he's been hit or miss this year. I mean, this guy's, some games he gives up 11 hits, some games he gives up 1. He's been hit or miss, like I said, but he's still gone under this line in 6 of 10 starts. And you look at the 4 teams that went over. The Rays, Orioles, and Blue Jays, all I would argue pretty decent offenses. And then the Tigers, he's gone under and then over once. Now, they went over in the second game they saw him. He started against the Tigers in 2 straight starts. Normally, when you see a guy back-to-back, you're probably going to be more accustomed to what pitches he's going to throw to you. Now, it's different from if you see a guy maybe in April and then you see him in June. Obviously, some pitches might change and whatnot. But his last 2 starts really haven't been good. I mean, granted, he's played against the Yankees and the Blue Jays, 2 offenses that have a lot of firepower that can put up runs. And while he did go under against the Yankees on the hook, he did only give up 5 hits, only lasted about 4 innings. And if he only wants to last a couple 4 or 5 innings, say that's fine with me. Maybe they have a short leash on him today. But look, he's going up against the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks are a little bit different than those 2 offenses and the Yankees and Blue Jays. I mean, the Diamondbacks, 4th worst batting average in the league. They average the 4th fewest hits per game in the league. 22 of the last 25 right-handed starters versus the Diamondbacks have gone under this line. Look, all 3 of the guys that they managed to get 6 hits were on the road Diamondbacks, which the Diamondbacks apparently bet even worse at home. Look, they got the Devin Smeltzer yesterday of the Twins. I don't see him being able to do it. This is what I normally like to do. When you see a team that goes really good on offense, like yesterday, let's say the Yankees scored 12 runs. I don't expect those bats to continue to be that hot the next day. Look, also my last note, Diamondbacks batting 214 versus right-handed pitchers this year. That's the 3rd worst in the MLB, and that includes that has dropped to 190 over the last 2 weeks. They really aren't hitting righties too well, despite them getting to Smeltzer yesterday. I like this Dylan Bundy, and even though he's not the best pitcher, I like his under 5.5 hits allowed as my second player prop of the day. But Logan, you know what time it is. It's Nerfy Nation time. And I swear, Logan, whenever we give out a Nerfy lean and the lean hits, our regular Nerfy's not allowed to hit. But let's get into this one. And we are going to start with the guys by the name of Royals Athletics. We're taking the no-run first inning minus 121 on Barstool Sportsbook. We're seeing actually some other, you see FanDuel at minus 142, which is a pretty good sign when we see other books kind of at more juiced value. But look, in this one, we're betting on bad offense, not necessarily the greatest pitchers. And because on the mound for Athletics, Cole Irvin, he's been a Yerfy Nation ally, 4-6 on no-run first inning so far this year. He has your feet in his last 2 starts. But look, I think he can get it done today for us. I know you might be saying, Austin, couldn't you pick a different one? But we like this one. They wouldn't make this one minus 121 if they expected both these guys to get rocked. And we look at the Royals, not great against lefties, which Irvin is the lefty. Merrifield, that 222 versus lefties. Benintendi, 277 versus lefties. I mean, Benintendi's their best hitter, and he's normally batting over 300. So the fact that he struggles-ish against lefties is a good sign. And then Witt Jr., 175 versus lefties. Look, the Royals aren't changing the top 3 of their order unless an injury happens, and these guys are all healthy. So those guys are going to be the guys we're going to see. Royals, 24th in first inning runs. It's offense that really struggles. And my last note for Irvin, they wouldn't set this over to 7.5. They're expecting some runs early in this one. So I think Irvin can get me those first 3 outs. What about the next guy, Logan?
Yeah, it's scheduled to be Keller, right? Keller actually has been serviceable in the no-run first inning portion, right? 9-3 on no-run first innings this year. We love to see that. Oakland offensively, right? 16th in first inning runs. But they're also 30th in batting average. We know the Oakland Athletics have struggled to be able to put up hits and runs consistently in the games. Yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of people, one of their favorite bets to make is Oakland, team total under, Oakland first 5 team total under. They're solid bets to make. Maybe go look at them today. I don't expect them to be able to hit Brad Keller unless they're just absolutely, he's walking a bunch of people. He's usually a pretty solid pitcher at not allowing, hits and runs. But I really do like this no-run first inning. As Austin mentioned, it comes down to luck. We can't predict home runs. We truly can't. I mean, at the end of the day, yesterday, that's what ended us. And it's sick. Puts a sick feeling in Nerfy Nation's stomach. But we get right back after today. No home runs allowed.
Yeah, you did make a good call saying Michael Brantley would have a pretty good day given his batting average versus Giolito. And of course he did. But either way, we're going to roll into this one. We're going to wave these flags tomorrow morning. But we appreciate you guys as always. Those are our 4 picks of the day. We'll catch you guys again Sunday morning with hopefully bringing out the brooms in that one. We appreciate you guys as always. It's been Austin, Logan. We'll catch you in the next one.